welcome back to my channel. So today guys, we're going to do a wash day, and I'm going to actually wash my roots, and I'm gonna keep these braids in, and we're gonna do a little upkeep of the front braids. So let's get started. So you're gonna need the massage brush, as well as I'm gonna use this soap bar. I'm using this different one. This is to lift away impurities, and it's like the black soap Shea Moisture bar. I've loved using the shampoo before, so I'm gonna try this one because I want to make sure all my buildup and all the dirt and grimes are clean. First thing I do is I wet this with warm water. I try to keep the ends up to not get as much water in them as possible, not as saturated with waters as the roots because it's just a lot of work to dry them. And after that, I'm gonna go in and I'm going to just use the soap on my scalp, and I'm making sure I'm doing this in sections so I can make sure that I am all on the scalp, and I'm going small section by small section to make sure that the soap does get on the roots, because if you guys can see that it's been a couple of weeks since I've washed my hair, so it's not even foaming up when I do this. I'm doing that first wash because of all the oils, the dirt and grime, everything that's just on there. Between me sweating and working out is just quite dirty, so I need to make sure I clean it. So this is what it looks like for the first wash, and I'm gonna do this all over my scalp until my entire scalp is covered with that shampoo bar and I'm able to shampoo every part of it. After I do my entire scalp, I go ahead with my fingers and I massage this in. If you can see, this is not foaming up at all because my scalp was so dirty. It was quite dirty. After I do this, I make sure I get enough soap on my edges, and after I give it a good little massage, I do this for about 3 minutes. I rinse it out. Guys, look at my scalp. This is all the buildup that actually came up, which is pretty cool for this soap. So what I'm gonna do is go in a second time and shampoo it again. It's actually foaming up where the shampoo bar is working a lot better because all those impurities, it lifts them off my scalp, as well as I'm able to get a good wash. And this is when I truly feel my scalp was getting clean. The first time it just felt like there was a layer that was coating it, but now after the second wash, this is when I feel that my scalp was actually getting shampooed. So if you guys have braids in and you're gonna wash them like I do, make sure you do at least 2 wash to get a good clean scalp if you're gonna leave in the old braids and just wash your scalp. This definitely help get my scalp super clean. It takes away all the buildup, everything that's on there that I don't want, dirt, grime, all that. It is gonna be shampooed out. So after my entire scalp has been shampooed, what I'm gonna do is massage it in a little bit with my hand. Just make sure all my scalp is covered with this. You guys can see so much better. It's doing so much better with the shampoo. and it's actually foaming up. I absolutely love it. And after I do that for a few minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and reach for my scalp massager, and I'm gonna massage this in circle, in small section. I go through my entire scalp with this. I'm speeding this up just so I can show you guys, but I do take about 5 to 10 minutes going over my entire scalp and massaging it and shampooing it, because I want to make sure all those impurities, all the dirt and grimes you guys saw before, I want to make sure they're all washed out of my scalp. So I go ahead and give it a good massage to make sure, because my braids are going to stay in, I'm not going to take them out, just to get a super clean scalp. And afterward, guys, again, I go in for a last little massage with my fingers, just for good measures. If you guys can see, this is pretty much what it looks like. And after I rinse it, this is what it looks like. This actually looks clean. There's no impurity, there's nothing left on my scalp, and I'm excited about how nice it turned out. Now we're gonna go ahead and dry these. The first thing I do is I put the blow dryer on high and I dry the ends. They're wet, they're not as wet as they would be if I just put them under the water, but they still ended up wet. So I have to go ahead and go in and blow dry all the ends on high. Just make sure it doesn't reach my scalp, because it is on warm high setting. This is to make sure that all the ends are dry with no water, nothing in there that's weighing it down, and they're not wet. Once I'm done doing the ends, I'm gonna go ahead and change my settings, make sure that all the ends are completely dry. Now for my scalp, I'm gonna go put it on low, and I'm actually gonna put this on a cold setting. The cold button that's on the top, I'm actually using that to make sure that I'm not putting heat on my scalp and my edges, because I want those to dry out. It is pretty hot right now, so if you're somewhere that's cold, you might not want to use the cold, but for me, because it's so hot, the cool setting feels so nice on my scalp, and it feels nice to just dry my scalp. So now all my ends are dry, and I'm making sure that my scalp is completely dry so I can add products on it. And guys, I'm using the blow dryer because my hair is still in braids. I didn't take them out, so I want to make sure that my hair is as dry as it can be without leaving it wet, because I don't want to create any scalp issues, because my hair is damp, it didn't get dry, and I went to sleep like that. Definitely don't want to get sick the next morning because I went to bed with wet hair. So make sure that you dry everything out. Your scalp is completely dry and your ends are dry as well. Now that everything is dry on my scalp, it feels great, it feels clean, I absolutely love it. the next thing I'm going to do is add my products to it. So before I add my products, actually what I did was I separated the first 2 rows in front of my scalp, and what I'm going to do is actually take those out and rebraid them. Yes, I know this is going to take a little bit of time, but I just wanted to refresh the front of my scalp to make everything look pretty nice. So those first 2 rows, I'm going to take them out, which are pretty easy to take out because I only braided the very root of my hair, so it's not a lot of braids, so they pretty much just slide out. There's a couple I did go ahead and unbraid, but it's just about 2 or 3 of them, but everything out, they just slide out, so it wasn't an effort at all to take them out to redo them. I'm gonna do is just unwind these, and I'm gonna go ahead and add some moisture to the front. The first thing I'm gonna do is add some leave-in, guys. Just pin the rest of the hair back. I'm adding the Cantu leave-in. This is to make sure all the ones I took out are completely moisturized. I absolutely want to make sure that I put some good moisture, especially the front of my hair. It tends to be drier than the back of my hair, so while they're out, I'm gonna make sure I add some good leave-in moisture treatment on there for good measures, and just make sure I go from root to tip so everything gets properly moisturized. Next, I'm gonna go ahead with my oil. This is my DIY oil. If you guys haven't seen how I made that, it's on my channel. I'm pretty much going on my roots to apply that to make sure that it's on my roots and my edges, and it's all over. The next thing I'm gonna do is do some shea butter. Now this shea butter, I'm gonna apply it from root to tip, make sure all my hair is covered with it, so that way I'm sealing in all that good moisture I just added to my hair and to my ends before I go back and braid them. Now that everything is moisturized, ready to go, what I will do is make sure I twist the sections that they are separated, and I'm gonna go back, do the same thing, braid the roots just a little bit, and then go ahead and do my twist. And guys, this is what I'm gonna do to the entire front of my hair, just to refresh the front to make sure everything looks nice and new again. So now that this is the last braid, guys, I have everything done. It's finished. All my new braids are in. What I'm gonna do is add some moisturizer all over my scalp. So what I'm gonna go ahead is use my Shea Moisture Daily Leave-In, and this is the coconut one. You guys seen me use this. I did a whole review on the line. This has been great to moisturize my scalp because of how light it is with all the braids in. So I'm gonna go ahead and moisturize each section, make sure all of my scalp is moisturized before I add in some much needed oils to hydrate it again. After adding that leave-in spray, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and add some oil. And this is the same oil I added to my this front of my hair, my DIY. I added it to my scalp, and then I added the ginger oil on the front edge. Go ahead and use a little bit of the Aussie gel to actually do my ends, just to put a little life back on them, to help them shine a little bit more and have them look a lot better after all that washing and blow drying, just to make sure they look nice again and they're all even again, and take away some of the frizz and the wear and tear on them. I've had them in for those few weeks. And after I apply that gel, the only thing I'm gonna do is brush them down a little bit just to get all the frizz down. And afterwards, I'm gonna go ahead on the ends and just cut off any little extra piece that looks like they're fraying out, that looks a little bit longer than the others, just to make it look a lot neater. I'm gonna do this for both sides just to make sure everything look fresh, look nice again. And it's all done pretty much at this point after I trim the last set of the ends. Pretty much it, all done. Took a couple hours, but totally worth it because my scalp felt a lot better, nicer, healthier. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, of course, subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell so you know when I have new videos that are coming out. Of course, leave all of your comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and go over and watch my last video.